The footage of crashes, mishaps, and accidents within this video is presented strictly for educational and informational purposes to illustrate crucial lessons in RV safety, responsible road practices, and personal preparedness.
Coming at you fast like a freight train ride. Another crazy, stupid RV design. Smoking sparks, no fear, no mild. Buckle up, it's RVs Gone Wild.
Hey everyone, welcome to RVs Gone Wild number 46. We're getting closer to 50, and that means changes are coming soon. Big changes, but I think you're gonna like them.
Oh yeah.
But we're not at 50 yet. That's right, we got another episode of RVs Gone Wild, and people are talking about it. John P says, what a waste of time, don't bother watching. Mark G says, if only he wasn't talking so darn much through the videos, they would be good. And Todd B says, what is this 51 minutes of you talking nonstop? Holy crap, just show the videos and stop talking. Turn your hat around or loose it? Loose it? You're not as dumb as it makes you look.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
And Tom K writes, you can't fix stupid. And let's get on to the videos and more of me talking too much. And we've got this RV fire from Joseph M. He sent this to us.
Ooh. I hope everyone got out.
Oh, that's an RV. No, that's an
That's
RV.
an RV.
Oh, look at it
Oh,
fall.
wow.
Oh, you see how quick did you get that?
Yeah, you can see the walls come down on that RV.
And the world came tumbling down.
Thanks for sending it our way, Joseph. Hey, we're getting really close to 25,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed already, please click subscribe. And if you have subscribed, double check that you're still subscribed because YouTube's doing some funny things. I don't know, but people are telling me they're getting unsubscribed for no reason. Sounds like funny business to me. Got another sad fire. This guy got footage of his own RV fire. Got away, everyone was fine, but you know, the RV just melted into nothing. If you've ever seen the remains of a fully burnt RV, there's almost nothing left. It's amazing how much of that RV is actually flammable. John M writes, it's not Turducken, but it's interesting. Yeah, it's not exactly Turducken, but it's something close to that. I'm really not sure why the heck you would put a trailer on the roof, unless maybe if you're towing another trailer, so this is a way to tow a second trailer? Yeah, I'd love to know the story behind this one. Thanks for sending it our way. We got another moment where somebody was driving a rig that was probably a little too big with a vehicle that was probably a little bit too small, and this was not very far from my home, so this was posted locally and I saw it. Blocked the whole bridge, causes all kinds of problems. You know, you might do the math and say your rig will just be able to tow it, but I really think that you should over purchase and your rig should be over what it can tow. You want to have at least a 20% margin or more. Something tells me this rig did not have a 20% margin. It's not about will it tow, it's about what's going to happen when you have to deal with an emergency situation, in adverse weather, in windy days, in traffic, maybe it's raining. That's when your tow rig gets put to the test. Will it pull and will it slow down and stop on the freeway? Those aren't really the measures of whether or not you're overweight. I know, I'll probably get somebody posting in here how they're towing this and that with this and that and it's just fine and they put in airbags. It's always with the airbags that seems to solve all the problems, but just get a bigger vehicle and a smaller trailer and your life's going to be better. That's when your tow rig gets put to the test. Will it pull and will it slow down and stop on the freeway? Those aren't really the measures of whether or not you're overweight. Mott RC Dirt Company. He sends us 2 emails, both with his 1969 Pathfinder trailer, one with his 2000 Tahoe, and now he's got a 2021. This was in Ogallala, Nebraska. Ogallala, Nebraska? I have no idea how to say that. You tell me.
What do you use it for?
You put your weed in here.
All right, now I'm not going to say what store I was in when I saw this. So I saw these, and this is the first time ever I've seen anything like this. They were RV cannabis ashtray and a cannabis container.
I put my weed in there.
Yeah.
That's right. I think both of these were fairly unusable. It was really more for decoration. Apparently, that's what it's designed for. One is for your ashes, and the other one, you put your weed in there, man. We got a sad and scary one here. This is why you really need to watch out for flash flooding in the deserts. It can come at you, and when it does hit you, it comes at you faster than you can deal with. So once you realize you're in a flash flood, it's usually too late. Got a guy who was definitely past the point of no return. Given the number of people in the area from the front and back of this video, I'm guessing he was okay, but I imagine his rig was totaled. Scenes like this frighten me as an RVer. And again, everyone, be safe out there. Avoid these incidents. Watch out where you're parking. Watch for flash floods. Check those weather radios, as we all learned recently. Everyone should be checking those weather radios, making sure the weather radio is on. And just be safe out there, everyone. Be safe. And Russ D sent in this funny tarp. I thought this was very pretty and very cool. Definitely an interesting idea. This is basically a sunshade that you attach to your RV so that, you get more shade underneath your awning. However, if I was going to decorate it like this, I would definitely make sure to avoid any place near hunting season. That just seems like you're asking for trouble. Come on. Come on. We've got custom RVs Gone Wild and RVing with Joe merchandise on the channel. Check the link on the description below, or you can click on this QR code right here with your phone. Check out our store. It's a great way to support the channel. Here we go with another European Iveco running around Canada. Seem to have a lot of them this year, a little more than usual. I wonder why they're all coming up here and not going south into the States. Steve from Portage, Wisconsin, he sent us pictures of his first gooseneck trailer built on his J-code. This is where you take a travel trailer and convert it to a gooseneck. Check this out. That looks like some great work. Now imagine you drove this before and after when it was a regular trailer and now a gooseneck. I'd love for you to comment below and tell us, what is the experience like before and after? What were the pluses and minuses of each? Maybe, it tows better in a gooseneck, but, there's this new thing you have to think about or additional challenges. I'd love to hear from it. Maybe right below. Or send me an email at rvingwithjoe@gmail.com. And that goes for anyone who might have a cool idea, a cool picture, a video, or a link. Send it my way to rvingwithjoe@gmail.com. We'll try to put it in here. They don't all make it, but most do. Now, when I saw this picture, I wondered, why are they towing a porta potty? And then I thought, well, maybe they need the extra capacity. Maybe the RV black tank is broken. Maybe they can't dump anymore. Maybe this was the wife's choice to get the husband out of that RV when he's making a number 2. I don't really know, but it got me thinking about this other picture I posted. That's right. All you old guys know what I'm talking about. That's the real reason I RV right there, is so I always have my toilet with me. Nancy O's husband saw this in Batavia, New York. She said it's definitely a different type of tarp. Definitely, Nancy. Yeah, that's a hot mess. Hot mess. Thanks a lot for sending it our way. It's good to hear from you again. And here we got just a couple of more extra beefy monster rigs. I'm guessing these might be racing rigs, for racing teams. Not totally sure. Some of this is custom, and it all looks cool. And Rick K, he sent this to us. He goes, is this a giant roof rack? He saw this on a Class C at Westminster, Colorado Home Depot. And immediately he thought of this channel. He's not sure if this was for like a roof rack used for storage or what it was. He imagines it does add a lot of weight, especially to the top of the structure. It's one thing to add a bunch of weight to one of these on the deck, but yeah, that's a lot of weight on top. Hope that person knew what they were doing when they built it. Thank you, Rick. Now, I've always thought the idea of renting out your RV or your trailer is a little crazy. I mean, I understand why rental companies do it. You know, they got a system, they've got insurance, they can kind of handle the load. But your average private individual, I just wouldn't recommend it. I mean, unfortunately, I've seen enough RV owners make really bad decisions with their RVs, and I gotta believe people who are amateurs driving other people's RVs is just asking for trouble. Now, having said that, here's some crazy examples, especially because
Burning Man
just wrapped up. Once upon a time, I used to have a pop-up trailer that was gutted. It had no canvas on it. It was basically a camping trailer with a lid that I could crank down. But it was great for camping, and a friend of mine wanted to borrow it to take to the playa at Burning Man. And I figured this thing was pretty much an empty shell of a camping trailer. How bad could it be? Sure, take it. I let him take it out there, and he brought it back to me. I looked inside that thing and I made him immediately take it from me for $100 because I never wanted to see that playa dust crusted interior again. I couldn't believe how much playa dust was still in that thing. And this was after he said he had hosed it out, cleaned it out, and it was still just caked with playa dust. And that's why people don't want you taking their rental trailers and their rental RVs to the playa. The dust that happens at Burning Man gets inside all the RVs. It kind of can ruin them, especially if there's a crazy dust storm like we saw this year. So first we got this guy who rented his RV to somebody who swore he wouldn't take it to Burning Man. And guess what? Well, watch.
Renting out their RV this summer for a little extra cash. They had only one simple request: do not take the RV to the Burning Man Festival in Nevada.
Ginto says him and his wife have this man to blame, Shaban Shakuri. So he messaged Shakuri to make sure he's not going to Burning Man because of the risk of weather-related damages. Shakuri told Ginto he was going camping instead. The family who owns this RV claims Shaban took an AirTag out of the keychain for the Mercedes and then took it to Burning Man without realizing there's still another AirTag inside the van. That GPS tracker leading them right to the Burning Man festival. Friends of Ginto say they spotted the same RV with the same license plates to match at Burning Man.
Where's the inspection form?
Ginto and his wife cornered him, but no answer. Shaban signed the papers over and left. Ginto says from now on, he's going to black out the Burning Man date.
Number one, screw that guy. That guy should have owned up to the damage he'd made on that RV. And he never should have lied. Two, I can't believe this guy's talking about blackout dates for the next time he rents his RV. He still didn't learn his lesson and he's going to rent this RV again. So I just don't know what to say here. Now here's some other RVs that recently returned from Burning Man. Check it out.
And here's another one that just came back. Sure did a nice blue tape job. This one's, well, I'll let you guys take the judge for this one.
The before of the mallard, of the Heartland mallard. This was our first return, first video that was posted for Burning Man return.
Rented out our brand new RV and they took it to a place they promised they were not going to go.
Any guess where these lovely guests went?
But at least this guy's ahead of the curve. He brought his own RV to Burning Man. He seems to have taken enough steps to prepare to make it work. So check it out.
Taped the windows up around the edges to keep the dust from coming in. We went full Dexter, so people walking into the RV during Burning Man be like, uh-oh. And it looks great.
So apparently you can successfully take your RV to Burning Man if you do it right. As I always say, you can always email rvingwithjoe@gmail.com and send me your pictures, your links, or anything cool you think we want to put on the channel. But maybe you've actually sent it to me before and it never made it on the channel. So I'm asking you, if you've sent me pictures, videos, or links before and it didn't make it on the channel, send it to me again and put a little note in there that you sent it once before and it never made it on the channel. There are times we've had to skip over some for various reasons or time, but for the most part, we've missed some and I feel bad about it. So if you feel like we missed your rig and it should be on here, mail me, rvingwithjoe@gmail.com, send it my way, and we'll do our best to get it on this show. Now, this is one of those perils of RVing, things you really need to look out for, sort of the dangers of being an RVer, and that is when you don't secure your paper towels on a dirt road. Yes, any RVer who has a roll of paper towels mounted knows that you got to secure those paper towels or else you're going to come in here and find your whole roll of Bounty sitting on the floor. That's exactly what happened to us on our big 30-day trip through BC to Alberta, Alaska, Yukon, and this actually happened to us a couple of times. However, I talked about it on my channel. Some people offered up some great suggestions, and we actually bought one of these. So if you're an RVer and you're looking to avoid the paper towel problem, check this out. And no, I'm not sponsored. I just think it's a cool product, and I'll probably show a picture of it once I have it installed shortly. Thanks Dave H and Paul H for sending me these suggestions, as well as everybody else who commented online. David T, he sent his stuff before, and he wasn't sure if he had sent this overland rig that he spotted in Denali National Park. He writes that he think he showed it to us before, but he's not sure. He included the license plate in one of the pictures. It's not like I'm gonna look this up, David. I don't have a database. I have over 5,000 RV pics. I don't know if you sent this my way. I don't care if you sent it my way. In fact, if you have a really cool RV you already sent me, send it to me again. What the hey? No, I really appreciate you sending it in. Maybe you did send it, but it's definitely awesome and it's worth showing again. Tom S. He said this might be a first for our site. I think it might be. This picture was actually taken from a small plane. Yeah, it's certainly moving, but he got this shot, and it looks like this guy was making around 70 miles per hour, according to Tom. He's got some kind of skilled conversion for his towed. This was outside of Pocatello, I think Idaho, right? Isn't that Pocatello, Idaho? And it was south on the I-15. He says he sees a lot of travelers on the I-84 and I-15 junction, and Tom loves seeing all the RVs. Well, Tom, thanks for sending this our way. I really appreciate you contributing again. And you're right. I think this is the first picture we put on here taken from a plane. I certainly have taken some epic drone shots, but that's not the same thing as being a pilot. I'm not flying the drone. The computer is. Another Apocalypse rig, probably from Europe. Not really sure. Looks awesome. Definitely not low pro in that big yellow coloring though. You may have seen this RV on this channel before. It has been on multiple episodes. I have had multiple people send me these photos. Different places at different times, but it's always the same RV. This is Fabian Viaja. This is actually a guy going all the way from the tip of Argentina, which is where he's from. He's Argentinian, and he drove all the way up to Alaska. He's actually now slowly working his way back down. I'm going to put a link to his channel below and maybe stick one right here. You can actually watch his channel with the English captions on. In fact, you can do that for a lot of the channels on YouTube now. But back to the point. All of a sudden, we're at Liard Hot Springs while we're on our big 30-day, 5,000-kilometer trip through Alberta, BC, Yukon, Alaska, and we see his vehicle there. Now, he's not with his vehicle. It's just parked. But we go and we take some footage of it, and we're like, here it is. Oh, my gosh, we have to share this with everyone. Well, everyone sent us photos, apparently, this one. Here it is. But then, just a couple of days later, we're going through Watson Lake at the Signpost Forest, which is a very famous stop way up there in the Yukon, where you can go and check out all the signposts that people have brought in from around the world. And there he is. There's a couple of other Argentinian people there hanging out as well. But we go up to him and we say, hey, now he didn't speak very good English, but luckily my wife speaks a little Spanish. So we started talking to him. We found out his story. We found out, yes, he's gone all the way from the tip of Argentina all the way up to Alaska. And before anyone wants to interrupt me, yes, I know you can't drive all the way from one tip to the other. There's a little thing called the Darien Gap that you have to get like on a boat. Nobody can drive all the way up from South America, but he's done it as close as you can do it. And like, here, check it out.
For me and you.
And how many kilometers or miles? How long? How far?
From Argentina, 31,000 kilometers.
Woo!
One year driving.
1 year. Wow, and there we is. That's the inside. There we are. Everybody wants to know. There we go.
It's a Ford Falcon Ranchero. Made in Argentina.
Gotcha. So you can't get those, and you can't get those in the United States.
Forever.
Look at that.
Welcome to Fabian Patagonia.
Muchas gracias.
Fabian.
Fabian.
Viaja is travel.
Oh, okay. So again, check out his channel. What an adventure that guy's been on. And not just a couple of weeks ago, my friends Dieter and Antoinette, they were up north with their trailer and they spotted him as well and posted a few more pictures. So man, this guy gets around. But I was just glad we finally got to see the inside of this famous trailer and I got to meet the guy. And now he's got one of my stickers on his rig. And of course, he had seen RVs Gone Wild, so he knew who I was. That's so awesome. And that's why we're giving this Ford the Tip of the Hat Gold Star RVing with Joe Award for being the coolest Ford in this episode. Safe travels, my friend. It's time for Turducken.
Turducken. I think that's funny.
Have you heard about the Turducken?
It's a Turducken.
I'm cooking up a whole new kind of meal. It's called Turducken. It's real. It's got a duck inside, a chicken inside, a turkey.
It's a great recipe, it tastes great, but it's a really interesting way to tow. Let's take a look at some RV and trailer turduckens. This truck is not just turducken, it is mega turducken. Good Lord, look at the size of this thing. I'm still amazed that these things are even legal. I know not in all states, but that's a lot to tow. I hope this person's a pro. Chuck H, he saw this funny trailer. It's actually a travel trailer around Saco, Maine. He jokes that I guess we all need a little extra room, and he loves the YouTube channel. Well, I appreciate you digging the channel, and I agree. This is kind of a weird setup here. It looks like they took another part of an RV and just welded it onto the back. I guess you can do that. I wouldn't do that, but I guess you can do that. And we got another turducken that is indeed a hot mess.
Put in the South Alabama, Florida man hauling junk down the road. Jiminy Christmas is this.
We have no idea what's going on here. I don't know if this stuff's all getting taken down, maybe across the border down south out of the States. But yeah, this is a funky ride. I have no idea what's going on here. Thanks, Adam, for sending this in. Another nice turducken here with a boat. So often that third turducken trailer is a boat, right? If it's not side-by-sides or some kind of off-road crawler-hauler thing, it's usually a boat. And a boat. Another really big rig here. But yep, another big boat. The boat itself and the trailer for the boat is huge. And it looks small next to the other stuff. Gordon L. saw this bad boy at a Walmart in Calgary. Strapped in the back were at least 4 bicycles and an ATV. Thanks a lot, Gordon. Yeah, I saw some great rigs up there in Alberta, out there by Banff, Calgary, Edmonton, Grand Prairie. Oh yeah. And those European rigs are a pretty penny to transport over here. And we got a whole new kind of turducken. We got slide out turducken. I did not know these had hit the market, where we've got a slide out within a slide out. That is like 4 times the trouble. Not double the trouble, but 4 times the trouble when you add a slide out inside a slide out. That's a little too much slide out for me. Alfred K sends in his turducken. This is his rig. Heading out to go fishing in southern Idaho. And we got another turducken fishing person here. This one is Ann H. They got their 17-foot 1994 Bass Tracker. They got a 2024 Keystone Alpine and a 2023 GMC Sierra 3500 HD towing that big old load. They took this picture just recently in Fall River, Kansas, August 10th. Thanks a lot, Ann, and I hope you're enjoying your trip. Here we go. We got somebody set up to take their XJ out. As I've learned on Matt's Off-Road, those XJs are phenomenal off-road, if they're set up right. We got Cyril and Mary Jo. They have got quite the mega rig here. They got Blue Thunder, making that Jeep on the back look like a little tiny go-kart. And that big old rig attached to their custom extension to the back. And he's got Mary Jo here driving Blue Thunder away at the Harvest Host near Salem, Oregon last month.
Hey everyone, got a special treat for you today. Mary is going to drive Blue.
I love watching my wife drive a big old truck. And another beauty of these heavy-duty transports, again, I'm hoping most of these owners are professionals. Usually they are when they get the heavy-duty transports. It's usually because they're already a truck driver, and this is their comfort zone. That's the best-case scenario for these. Teresa C. wanted to share with us her turducken, or rather, her brother-in-law's setup, taken at LBL in Kentucky. I'm not sure what LBL is, but I know where Kentucky is. And wait a minute, if this is Turducken in Kentucky, does that make it Turducky? Anyone who's followed my channel knows that my biggest bucket list trip right now is getting up to Tuktoyaktuk. That's called Tuk sometimes, and it's up at the Arctic Ocean all the way at the top of Canada. You can drive out there, but it's a 500-kilometer dirt road to get out there. And I will be doing it one day. But then I found this boat. Now this boat is actually a set of barges that is going up to Tuktoyaktuk. And I really hadn't seen too much boat turducken like this, and it got me thinking that this isn't just boat turducken, but this is Tuktoyaktuk turducken. That's right, Tuktoyaktuk turducken. Tuk turducken. Turducken? Turducken? It's a lot of turducken going up to Tuktoyaktuk. Anyway, I just saw the picture on the Dempster Highway Facebook page, which is the highway that goes up to Tuck. And it just made me think of that. And really, all I'm trying to do is make myself laugh here, folks. I'm an audience of one. Are there even people out there? And this one's really nice. It's just really pretty. In fact, some of the earliest RVs I had exposure to were these homemade style gypsy wagons and things like that. I always have a soft spot in my heart for these, and I'm really pleased that we got pictures of the inside of this beauty as well. And that's where these things usually really shine. They look awesome on the outside, but they look better on the inside. Talk about a home away from home. And we have Brian R. here. And he sent us this old RV here. This is sort of the classic C, the way they don't make them anymore, with that dual axle setup in the back. Not dualies, but dual axle. Whole lot of overhang. Watch it at those gas pumps. And we've got Chris Spencer, who is the manager of the KOA at Sam's Town in Las Vegas. He always sends us some of the greatest rigs, and in another week or two, you're actually going to see an interview I'm going to do with him. By the time you're watching this, I should have already done the interview, and I'll have it out in a week or two, and we'll find out what is it like to run an RV park at a casino in Vegas. Now that's got to be some RVs Gone Wild. But Chris sends us this two Class A motorhomes. One belongs to an employee of his, and the other belongs to a guest. What are the chances that two identical RVs end up in the same park? Let alone right next to each other like this. Definitely an interesting coincidence. Here we've got a couple of smaller pickup type campers. And so many of these come through. Another off-road capable RV roaming the US from another country, hitting up that Southwest desert. And he writes, he's never seen a hard-sided camper with a pop-up roof. He's seen a few of these roofs on pickup campers. He's also seen a hard-sided camper that the whole top raises up and down for better travel. Just not one of these. And finally, he shows us this tow-behind camper with a bit of a personalized paint job. Thanks a lot, Chris. I appreciate it, and I hope everybody enjoys our interview coming up. Corey C. titles this one Out and About. Corey C. is actually a longtime contributor. He's got some great rigs, and he's also a member of Joe's Road Tripper on my Patreon. If you haven't checked it out, feel free to go check out my Patreon. You can sign up for free. But we also have the Joe's Road Tripper group, which he's part of. And in fact, we're planning on a Zoom session coming up soon. So if you do become a Joe's Road Tripper, you can join me in a small private Zoom session. I'd love to shoot the breeze with you all. Check my Patreon for more details. Patreon.com/RVing with Joe. You can click this QR code and I'll put a link in the description. Dave H is rolling back into Monroe, Utah, but with his 77 Kona jet boat towing behind his 77 sports coach this time. Few hours at Otter Creek Park equals perfect, he says. I love how you've matched the years of your classic boat and your classic RV. And to be honest, your RV kind of looks like a little bit of a boat. Looks like it's just ready to go in the water like an amphibious watercraft. Thanks a lot, Corey C., and I hope you join us on the Zoom session. Check out this beefy rat rod RV. I'm convinced we've had it on here before, but this is a whole bunch of new pictures, including pictures of the inside. Check it out. And here we got someone who took some crazy pills. I have no idea what they had against that drive-through, but I would definitely work on the anger management. Ho, Brian R. He's got quite the doozy here. He's got himself a homemade rig that is just gorgeous. Check this out. He writes, "Hey Joe, love your channel." He was hoping to run into us around Whitehorse. Unfortunately, we didn't make it up that far on our last trip. And here's some pictures of his homemade RV. He's camping at Marsh Lake Campground. Lots of room for his kayaks in the bottom bins. Bikes in the, quote, garage. He wants us to keep up the good work, and you keep up the good work. This thing's beautiful. In fact, I'd love to see pictures of the inside. Maybe send it our way one of these times. Thanks, Brian. Now here's one I found, and I have a few different theories about what's going on here. Now one, we've got someone who just is not paying attention and has dropped their RV and doesn't realize it and the safety chains are hanging on. But another theory is the possibility that this is a trailer being stolen, because that is a way to take a trailer when you can't get the lock off the coupler. You just hook it up to the safety chains and go. Of course, I'm not endorsing that, but unfortunately, it's a common way that a lot of trailers get stolen. So I'm not saying it's stolen, but something fishy is going on here. John S. saw this interesting rig at Mount Rushmore. Yeah, I had to double take on that myself. I didn't realize, I thought maybe it was towing another Class A, but then I realized it's a trailer. It's certainly a witty wrap. John S. writes, "I didn't know that they made these style of trailers for ice fishing. Did you?" Actually, I did. Only a few years ago did I understand what these kind of trailers were. I had seen one or two of them and didn't think much of it, but then I realized after seeing a few more, oh, these are ice fishing trailers. Of course, everywhere I've lived, there's nowhere there's ice fishing trailers. In fact, I plan to live for the rest of my life places where you can't have an ice fishing trailer. That's too cold for me. However, I definitely think these are cool. They're an interesting use case, and clearly you can use them year round. They don't just need to be used for ice fishing. So I really like any kind of tool you can get that you can use for more use cases, as we like to say in the tech world. So thanks for sharing with me, and thanks for sharing with us. And we got another bright yellow rig. Actually, this one has been on the channel before, but it was a fresh picture I hadn't seen from this angle, and I just love it. It just looks really cool. I don't know how far I'd want to take it, but it certainly looks awesome. And they say the covered wagon era is long gone. Well, we got this covered wagon, and it seems to still be doing just fine. Not sure where it came from or what the purpose is, but it looks cool. And I want to give a special thanks to my Joe's Road Tripper Patreon supporters, my founding members Cindy C. and Corey C., as well as the newest members, Retired Trucker 2021, Paul S. and Gary S. Click the QR code below if you want to join up with Patreon. You can join for free or join the Road Trippers Club. Thanks, everyone.